Okay, hi, I will be talking about the introduction part. So, for the introduction, I'll be first explaining on what is SLA, what is second language acquisition. So, as we all know, second language acquisition happens when the first or the primary language has already been established. So, talking about the second language, what can second language be? For example, I am a Tamil speaker, so my first language is Tamil. Where my second language could be English, could be Chinese, could be Bahasa Malaysia, or so on. It depends on what did I learn, what did I acquire after my first language. So, in conclusion, second language is a language that we establish or we acquire right after we have established the first language. So, moving on to the interview part, I personally conducted the interview with a father and his son and the uncle, but the uncle was not involved in the interview. But the father and the son were there. So, the questions for the son were answered by the father. So there were few similar questions and there were few similar answers as well. For example, similar questions such as the name, the age, and so on. So we asked both the questions for the father and the child. Whereas for the for the answers part, for example, the father's first language is Tamil. Same goes to the child, where the first language is also Tamil. But
We move on to the findings of this research. Through this research, we find that both the adult and the child learn their second language better when they have accessible sources of materials. Both of them, the adult and the child, learn the second language at school, where they are surrounded by textbooks and storybooks in the second language, which is English. Other than that, both of them have tuitions to further hone their English language. We found out that both the adult and the child learn their second language, which is English, through behaviorist theory and interaction theory. For the adult, they firstly learn to behaviorist theory and switch to interaction theory as they grow up so that they can hone their second language. This is because through interacting with other people, they can learn naturally how to pronounce certain words correctly, or they can know how to speak using dialects or slangs that native speakers of the second language use. For the child, he mainly learned through behaviorist theory. This is because he learned the second language by imitating his parents' speech whenever they speak the second language. Through this method, the parents will correct him if he spoke in wrong grammar or pronunciation. When he gets to speak the words correctly without the parents having to correct him, they will award him on this behavior.
Hi, I'm Shamini Kumar. So now I'm going to explain about the snippets, which is the keywords or key points we could found in the interview. There are so many key points or keywords we could found in the interview, which is relatable to the second language acquisition. I'm going to extract a few points and explain it to the theory which we learn in second language acquisition. Now let's listen to the recordings which is relatable to the theories.
School and tuition. Follow the parents to speak the language. For example, he learned from the way we talk.
From these recordings, we could actually relate it to the behaviorist theory by the Skinner. Why I say so is a child will imitate from adults or peers in order to speak the second language. The person mentions that the child learns from the school and tuition, so we can relate it to the behaviorist theory, which the child actually learn to imitate from the peers, maybe from the teachers itself to speak the second language. Moving on to the second key points, which we could relate it to the another theory. Let's listen to the audio first in order to explain more about the theory.
The child used words and actions to demonstrate Tamil language and English language.
From this recording, we get to know that the child uses interaction theory by Berner in order to learn or speak a language. either its first language or second language. From this interaction theory, it emphasizes that the interaction between the child and their caregivers or their peers maybe. Interaction theory were applied in the child since small, where the child uses action in order to speak the second language or even the first language. Moving on to the another key points which we could found in the interview, where there was a question were asked by us to the interviewer. Is it the child learn the second language by force? There was an answer given by the interviewer. Let's listen to the audio first.
To further their studies, to connect people from around the world, and most of the technologies are based on English language.
From this, we get to know that parents focuses on child's future. Learning English from young age has an incredible effect on the careable development of a child. They will acquire a greater capacity of concentration, and it will be very agile for the effective problem solving in future for a child. From this, we get to know that the parents are very aware of a child's future. So that's the synopsis where we get from the interview, which was the snippets, key points which we would like to deliver. Moving on to the conclusion of the interview. In conclusion, we get to know that parents are aware of the child's first language and then the second language. All the theories in second language acquisition were applied in households. Thank you.